It was supposed to be one of the happiest days of her life. On March 4, 2023, 26-year-old India Kinamore, a radiant and loving mother from Cincinnati, Ohio, was just hours away from welcoming her second son into the world. She had spent the final weeks of her pregnancy sharing her excitement online, posting updates about her growing baby bump and her anticipation of the moment when she would finally hold her baby boy in her arms. But instead of celebration, tragedy struck. In the early hours of that morning, India's life and the life of her unborn son were violently taken. Police arrived at India's apartment around 5 a.m. after neighbors reported hearing gunshots. Inside, they discovered a scene that would haunt them forever. India lay lifeless, shot multiple times, her unborn baby gone with her. The most heartbreaking part was that her 6-year-old son, Zai, had witnessed everything, running to his grandmother in terror, telling her someone had been shooting inside their home. India's brutal murder left her family and community shattered. At first, no one could fathom why anyone would harm a kind-hearted young mother on the very day she was supposed to bring new life into the world. But as investigators began to unravel the truth, the betrayal would cut even deeper than anyone could have imagined. Who India was: a loving mother, daughter, and friend. Born in 1996, India grew up surrounded by love, laughter, and a close-knit family. She was known for her bright smile, infectious personality, and caring heart. Friends described her as someone who made everyone feel seen and valued. India became a mother for the first time at 20 years old when she welcomed her son Zai into the world on April 13, 2016. At first, she was scared. She once admitted she thought she needed to be married, financially stable, and more prepared before having a child. But when Zai was born, she embraced motherhood wholeheartedly. From that moment on, Zai became the center of her world. She worked tirelessly to provide for him, nurturing his dreams and showering him with love. She often shared heartfelt posts about how hearing him call her mommy gave her strength and purpose. Family was everything to India. She was extremely close to her parents, siblings, and her cousin Jila, who was like a sister to her. When Jila was tragically killed by a drunk driver in November 2021, India was devastated. She described the pain of losing her cousin as one of her darkest periods of her life. Amid that grief, India discovered she was pregnant again. Though she initially felt unsure about having another child, she quickly grew excited and began documenting her pregnancy journey online, sharing updates about her cravings, struggles, and joy. She couldn't wait for Zai to become a big brother. March 4, 2023 was supposed to be filled with joy. India was due to be induced later that day. Just hours before she was scheduled to leave for the hospital, gunfire shattered the quiet morning. When officers arrived at India's Hidden Meadows apartment, they found a horrifying scene. India had been shot multiple times and was pronounced dead at the scene. Her unborn son, whom she planned to name Colerain, did not survive. In an unimaginable twist, 6-year-old Zai had witnessed the entire attack. Terrified, he ran to his grandmother, Terry, pleading for help. Terry later shared that surveillance audio captured her grandson screaming as his mother was shot, a sound that will haunt her forever. Even more chilling, the audio revealed complete silence from India's boyfriend and the baby's father, who was inside the apartment at the time. There were no cries of shock, no pleas for help, only silence. India's murder devastated the Cincinnati community. Vigils were held in her honor, with friends and neighbors gathering to remember her as a devoted mother and vibrant young woman. Her mother, Terry, refused to let her daughter's case fade away. She became a powerful voice for justice, organizing marches and speaking publicly to keep the pressure on investigators. For 2 long years, there were no arrests. Police assured the public the investigation was progressing, but India's family lived in agony, knowing her killer was still free. Behind the scenes, detectives were carefully piecing together the puzzle. Digital evidence, including deleted text messages, phone records, and location data, eventually revealed a chilling plot. The truth was more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. India's murder had been planned, and the person behind it was someone she trusted completely, her boyfriend and the father of her unborn child. According to prosecutors, India's partner did not want another child and had pressured her to end the pregnancy. When she refused, he allegedly orchestrated a plan to have her killed before she could give birth. He wasn't alone. Evidence connected 2 other men to the crime. Robert Irvin, 20 years old, who helped coordinate the attack. Lamar Suggs, 22 years old, identified as the shooter. On the night of the murder, investigators believe India's partner deliberately left the back door unlocked, allowing Robert and Lamar to enter the apartment while India was sleeping. The timing was deliberate. She was killed just hours before she was scheduled to go to the hospital, ensuring she would never hold her newborn son. On August 21, 2025, more than 2 years after India and baby Kyron's deaths, police finally announced arrests in the case. India's partner was charged with 2 counts of murder, 1 for India and 1 for baby Kyron, along with aggravated murder, burglary, and felony assault. Robert Irvin and Lamar Suggs faced the same charges. The revelation shocked the community. The man who had publicly grieved India's death, attended her funeral, and posted heartfelt tributes online was accused of orchestrating her murder all along. India's mother, Terry, said the betrayal was almost too much to bear. She once saw him as a kind, responsible man, someone she trusted with her daughter's heart. Now she viewed him as a monster. At Spring Grove Cemetery, India and baby Kyron were laid to rest together in a single coffin. Hundreds gathered to say goodbye, their grief palpable. Zai clung to his grandmother, still struggling to process the trauma of witnessing his mother's final moments. Terry now raises him, determined to give him the love and stability his mother would have wanted. But the scars remain. Terry shared that Zai often cries for his mother, asking why she isn't coming back. Explaining the unexplainable to a child is a burden no grandmother should ever face. India Kinamore's life mattered. Baby Kyron's life mattered. Though their lives were stolen in an act of senseless violence, India's family and community continue to fight for justice. Terry has vowed to keep her daughter's memory alive, ensuring that India is remembered not for the horrific way she died, but for the love, warmth, and joy she brought to everyone around her. As the case moves through the courts, one thing remains certain. India and Kyron should still be here today. Their story serves as a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly life can be taken and why we must never stop fighting for justice for those who can no longer speak for themselves.